I'm super excited about this one because I feel like, I don't know if Otto, I guess you would agree, but identity is one of the biggest issues that blockchains have to solve, and privacy as well. So it's a very nice combination.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. I got on stage because I wasn't sure if you could listen to me before or not.
Welcome.
Okay. I wasn't. I'm not too familiar with Discord. Sorry, but let me see. I can turn on the camera. Okay, here I am. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see your face. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yes.
read somewhere, I think it was a Vitalik post maybe, talking about the AI problem and how, like, once we start to get millions of and billions actually of AI impersonators, then identity online will be one of the massive issues of society, right? So,
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it will be. And so yeah, that's why proving that you're a human is becoming more and more relevant over time. Um, so yeah, it's just like there will be more synthetic, more artificial content, and distinguishing what is human generated from bot generated will be like super important. Even within the AI, I think like you want to check whether something was generated by ChatGPT or a different AI. Like that starts to give you different results, right? Because some AI may be more trusted than others, or it just may be different purpose. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was initially thinking about like government assistance programs. So like in Brazil, we have this like a basic income program that the government gives some amount of money to like people in need, so they can, like, I guess, kickstart their lives. But if you have like a bunch of AI claiming that, it starts to get interesting. All right, so the crowd is getting here.
it's the same as airdrops being abused, right? It's the same thing.
Actually, yeah, that's a very good point. So, AIs make simple attacks much easier, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right, so maybe let's wait for 2 more minutes and then we go.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, in these 2 minutes, anyone can feel free to jump on stage and just... Yeah, universal basic income. So we're running our experiment week here, Otto. So it's a second version of it. It's a time in which we stop everything we're doing for a week and just code. Just like not code, just like build applications, build different things than your normal like day-to-day job. So a bunch of cool use cases are coming out and cool experiments and so on. A time of exploration. So we decided to invite some projects that we like, that are friends, to come here and like give us some light, and we're very, very thankful that you accepted. So yeah, very happy about this.
Yeah, and apologies for Monday. I don't know. I mean, I had the other invite and I got confused, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it was a mistake on our part as well. Time zones are very confusing, so but we made it happen. So that's nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, so let's maybe start.
Yeah, for us, we're very excited as well. Like we're gonna go multi-chain. You're gonna be seeing the announcement tomorrow, where PolygonID is spinning off from Polygon, and basically trying to provide an identity bridging solution across chain. Trying to reach as many blockchains as possible, facilitating, like you said, civil resistance, proof that you're a human, basic KYC use cases, and so on. So that's something that we're very excited about, and hopefully be able to reach ecosystems like yours and others, and kind of provide this portable identity that people can carry around, right? Because people don't want to be like proving that they're a human on one blockchain and then go into another blockchain and a different DeFi protocol, proving that they're a human again. It just becomes like so much, right, a hassle. So we're excited about that. Let me just share my screen.
Nice.
Perfect. And okay, I'm gonna just try the screen, because usually when I just share a browser tab, it's like problematic. Okay, cool. So you can see my screen, right?
Yeah. Perfect. We
Okay,
see
perfect.
Discord right now. Okay. I'll turn off my camera just to not distract people. The stage is yours, Soto. Good luck.
All right, thank you. So, so PolygonID, a digital trust toolset for Web 2 and Web 3. You will be seeing the new name tomorrow, actually. That will not be Polygon tied, but will be independent. And I just wanted to introduce a few concepts here around the sort of which information they can prove.
I think we lost you for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you froze. Yeah, on the.
Am I still here?
Oh yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, let me see.
Okay,
try to make it full screen again. I don't know if something happens with the full screen. Let's see. Okay, and can you see the slide where it says technical use of an SSI ecosystem?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, perfect. So self-sovereign identity, yeah, it gives us this approach of giving control to individuals to prove who they are to websites, services, and applications, right? It is composed of three elements normally: an issuer of credentials, which could be like kind of like a government or educational institution, could be a DAO that is issuing credentials about its members. It could be even another person, like I'm saying that I worked with you on a project and I issued you a credential, right? So an issuer will be like the source of trust, will be issuing credentials. The second actor is the identity holder, which is a person or thing that holds those credentials, right? So an identity holder will use a wallet, as just like we use today in Web3, but instead of storing like NFTs and things like that and storing data directly on chain, identity holders will use this concept, what we call an identity wallet, which will hold credentials, and credentials are these signed cryptographic elements that are off chain, but you can prove data about them on chain. So that's like the idea behind it, right? And then the third element is the verifier. The verifier is this kind of like relying party that uses that information and is able to verify information about them. And the verifier, as you can see here, has to decide who he trusts, right? Is this concept of real world trust where you sort of have to navigate around the various issuers and decide who you trust as an issuer. For instance, if I say that I'm an expert in Solidity or I'm expert in JavaScript, it is different for, let's say, a Udemy university to say that I'm expert versus a university saying that I graduated from an expert degree in JavaScript, right? There's a level of trust that varies depending on who is claiming something about a third party, right? So this is something that the verifiers have to decide. And we have a growing ecosystem of issuers, and we'll be facilitating ways to decide that. So these are the three actors that are there. Typically, what happens in the flow is that the issuer will hand the credentials over to the identity holder with the signature, and then the holder would present data about the credentials. But in our case, because of our usage of zero knowledge proofs, you can kind of prove data about the data inside the credentials. So you can prove that, let's say, for instance, your credential says that your date of birth is greater than X date, meaning you can show that you're over 18. Maybe your credential could say that you're a resident of Brazil, and you can demonstrate that without revealing anything else in your credential. Or maybe you can say, okay, I want to check that my users are in this list of cities, and I don't want users that are from any other list of cities. So you can show like inclusion, like you're a member of this list of countries, or you could show a range proof. Let's say like your credit scores between a given range, 500 and 600. So this is like the nice thing about us. We're able to prove data about the credentials, and this maximizes user privacy and kind of gives this nice ability for people to like be able to just selectively reveal very specific data about the credentials. Okay, so what does all of that mean? Let me just quickly show you a simple demo of our web wallet and what that looks like. And then we'll jump into some more details. Okay, so in here, what you will see is that this is like a third-party decentralized exchange website where a user can try to delegate tokens. But before he can delegate tokens, we have to kind of check, right, that they're human and that they're over the age of majority, that they're over 18. So before you can do that, you are now asked to show that you're a human, that you're over the age of 18, right? So those are the two queries that you will be asked to do. In here, immediately it jumps from the third-party website into our web wallet. And you can see that the web wallet is being requested to show two proofs, right? One proof that you're over the age majority, and another proof showing that you're a human, right? This is sort of like the query that is being made, right? But all of this is configurable. You can choose which queries to make. We have a CK query language that enables you to like establish the queries and what attributes you're trying to get from your user, right? So now we move forward with the user flow, and we're going to go ahead and create the wallet from zero. So in this step, the user clicks connect wallet, and you can see that there is a wallet connect flow, right? We support any standard wallet connect flow. This is something that I was talking earlier last week with the folks from your team. As long as you can sign an Ethereum message that similar to what MetaMask does, or you support Wallet Connect, we would be able to provide compatibility, right? In this case, we're choosing MetaMask, and we're choosing to connect with MetaMask, right? So we connect with MetaMask, and then we sign the message. And then upon signing the message, you will see here that the user now has what we call a decentralized identifier, or a DID, which is just this identifier that has this kind of blockchain that is tied to, in this case, the Polygon blockchain, and the testnet Mumbai, as well as the identifier number that identifies that wallet, right? In fact, you will also see that it will not be called PolygonID, but it will be a neutral name starting tomorrow in our demos. And you can also, let's say, issue identifiers tied to the Cartesi blockchain, or other blockchains on the Ethereum ecosystem, Optimism, and so on, right? But in this case, this means that this identity is kind of anchored on this particular blockchain. So we're now ready, and we're now going to claim their credentials, right? In this case, what it's doing is showing a simulation from a vendor that does face scanning. And with the face scanning, they're able to estimate the age, and also able to show that you're a human, right? This vendor that we have here is called Synapse, but there's a variety of vendors in our ecosystem. I will go into that in a little bit, right? There's a variety of ways in which you can prove that you're a human, right? We are a little different than the folks from WorldCoin, that they have like a very specific way of showing that you're a human. We provide support a variety of methods, right? One method could be like here, you scan your face and you move your camera around to show that you're human. Others will ask you to actually match your identity document to your face, or others will do some other detailed checks, in-person checks, or like even social ways of proving that you're a human, when other people say that you're a human, attest that you're a human. But yeah. So now we have the two attributes, right? We have the two credentials. Basically, you have obtained one credential that says that you're of a age of majority, and another credential that says that you're human. And we, from those credentials, generate a CK proof. So we are now generating a zero knowledge proof on your browser to show that you are both of those attributes, right? So identity is successfully verified, and you have been able to move forward in the process with the third-party side. So that was the process in the third-party side. But the nice thing is, like I said, is this reusable identity concept, right? So you can actually reuse these credentials. So let's say you go to another site. This is like a gaming site where you will be asked to, again, verify that you're over 18, but you were now able to reuse this credential. So in this case, your wallet is connected. You can verify your age, and you can, again, demonstrate that attribute using our MetaMask Wallet Connect flow and signature requests. So now, yes, the credential has been claimed, and you can move forward and generate the proof, right? So you didn't have to do the flow from zero where you were like scanning your face and everything. You can now reuse the credentials that were living in your identity wallet and be able to show that to a third party. So yeah, that completes the process and you were able to move forward. So yeah, that was just a quick demo to show you. This was using our web wallet, right? We also support a mobile app that you can use to store your credentials. But I just wanted to quickly show you guys kind of what that looks like, and just give you a flavor for what that could look like, and maybe how the integration can start to think about how the integration could work possibly. Okay. There's also another demo, but basically what you saw, the basic flow is that you have a verifiable credential. The credential has attributes about you. You can ask questions about the credential as a third party, and then in response to those questions, you generate a zero knowledge proof with the validating data, and you can do private verification, right? You verify that the zero knowledge proof that you provided is correct and that the credential has not been revoked, because you could also have the credential revoked by the issuer. I could have my academic degree canceled by my university or other things like that, right? It could be revoked. So you're also validating that the credential has not been revoked. I will now quickly jump into the features, right? One feature is our usage of CK technology. Sorry, let me just blow that up again. Which enables users to prove this data. It is fully open source, right? All tools within the ecosystem are fully open source. You can host your own issuer node. We don't charge for usage of the protocol or anything like that. We will provide some facilities in the future for payment of credentials and a few other things, but that's a separate service. The basic ability to issue credentials and consume them and everything is completely free. It is interoperable with the W3C DID standard and verifiable credentials, and also this idea of on-chain verification. So the CK proof that you generated, right now, you can validate it off-chain and just verify that it's correct, but you can actually also grab that CK proof, feed it into a smart contract, and have the smart contract take one action. For instance, give you an airdrop, or validate some data on chain, give you an attestation, or perhaps give you some other access on chain. So this is a nice feature as well, which could be implemented in the future. And another nice feature is profile management, which kind of enables anti-tracking, right? Users will have many identifiers and DIDs as they want to prevent tracking. This means that I go to one party, I show one identifier, 1, 2, 3, and I go to a different party and I show a separate identifier, 4, 5, 6, right? And so that prevents tracking and maximizes privacy. And then also, we have what people call a selective disclosure. Selective disclosure allows users to, instead of just showing a CK proof, be able to reveal specific fields within the credential to show the data that is there. So that's a little bit of the features of PolygonID that I wanted to go into. Now, let me get a little more technical, because I know folks here that are technical want to get a little deeper into some of this. And for this, I will actually switch over to this other presentation that I have, which shows a little bit of what the information that is happening there. So I'm going to make that bigger. Apologies, this computer, I have to change this computer. It's like so slow presenting. What happens is this flow that is here. So you as an issuer, when you're going to issue credentials, you record your identity state on chain. Recording your identity state on chain is basically doing a few things with Merkle trees and a few other operations, but the output of that is published on the blockchain. So in this case, typically we would publish it on the Polygon POS chain, but with the future kind of multi-chain world that we're going to, we would publish it to any particular chain, right, where you would be able to do it. And we'll have a bridging service that we want to implement. Not yet available, but we will have it. The credential itself that you issue is a verifiable credential with a JSON LD format, linked data format. It has a cryptographic signature tied to the original identity state that you had published there. with your DID and also a cryptographic signature using a baby chop key. That credential itself is what you provide to the user, right? This is the data that lives inside the user's device. These credentials then live in the user's wallet, and the user, upon being requested to show or demonstrate data about them, right, with the queries, he will generate what is called a verifiable presentation, which has a sort of the proof that the data that you're proving about the credential, right? To do this, you are obtaining the latest identity states, you're grabbing that data, and you are actually generating a CK proof as input to the presentation, right? This involves zero knowledge proofs and circuits and public and private inputs and so on, which we don't have to get into right now. But basically, that file itself is a modified JSON Web Token format, or JWT, which shows sort of like the proofs inside of their pact. This is sort of what's going inside there. And then as a verifier, what you're doing is you're grabbing the latest information from the chain to make sure that the issuer information is correct and the credential has not been revoked, and you're validating this proof, right? So this is sort of the flow of what is happening. And this is sort of like, I think, where I was talking with Jatin the other day about how we can make this like deployed to Cartesi, right? How we can have perhaps this information that is already published here to Polygon be bridged over. I think you already have a bridging protocol that you can just port information from Polygon POS over to Cartesi and be able to have the holder be able to pull this information, and also the verifier be able to pull this information and grab it using like the Cartesi chain and be able to validate it correctly. Would be like perhaps the first step in getting us to like bridge over to your ecosystem, right? So it would be something like I will show here in the next slide, if this presentation gives me just a second to jump in there, where, let me just jump to this, which we do this identity bridging is what we call, right? So the data lives on one blockchain, but is ported over or bridged over to another blockchain so that you can validate it in the other blockchain. So in this case, the data is, let's say, written to the Polygon POS chain, but you can bridge it over to another blockchain. And one of these blockchains could be the Cartesi blockchain, where we would move it over there and be able to then validate the data using the other blockchain. So that's kind of the idea that we were thinking, and we sort of wrote a list of a few things that could be done. So we sort of put that list together, which we mentioned here. Let me make sure I pull that. So we would need to modify our web wallet to include support to the Cartesi blockchain, right? This would be something that we would need to do ourselves in the Polygon team. But I think using some of the open source stuff that is there, you can quickly, perhaps, for the purposes of this hackathon, be able to modify our extension browser wallet that I can show you to see how that's done. Then the Cartesi wallet would need to sign this message that I showed you, these EIP 712 messages, to be able to do that. And then the other part is the rollup from the Polygon POS to the Cartesi blockchain, moving that information across, right? This would be something that you guys would perhaps set up. And then modifying our verifier libraries to be able to obtain the contract information directly from the Cartesi chain, right? That would be the idea there, so that you can sort of show how you can read that data directly from there and then validate it using the rest of the flow, just like we would normally in our case. This is sort of like the initial set of steps that we thought about. But I know that was a lot of information. Let me pause here, see what the questions the folks have, and whether you want me to go deeper into any of the aspects that I just shared with you.
All right, that was great. Yeah, we do have some comments on the chat if you want to check those out. Mostly compliments, some questions.
All right.
But that's also super interesting.
Let's see. Questions on the chat. Sorry, it just takes a while for me to open it. Some people commenting about the orb. Yeah, the orb is a very controversial.
Yeah, the orb is
yes, proving part of your identity. Exactly. You give permissions to specific people. Correct, Milton. Guillermo, what if a robot just provides a video of a random human? Yes. I mean, there's a variety of ways that this could happen. A robot could do that. You could do like what we call trusted hardware, where the device that you're using to scan the face, you have verified that it is from the manufacturer and hasn't been modified, so you're not being fed a video feed, or you just rely on in-person checks, right? It could be like that. There's ways to address that. Different vendors have different ways of managing that.
You can have a multitude of vendors, right? So like I can choose to trust the identity of a given vendor that I know the process. Is that correct?
This is correct. Yes. Let me actually share that quickly here with you guys. My gosh, my computer is like absolutely. I'm gonna at least quit Slack to try to free up some memory. Let's try to free up some memory here. Oh, Slack. Quit that. Also quit Figma. Maybe that will help. Maybe that will free up some memory here. Okay, great. Yeah, so we have a variety of vendors, yes, in our ecosystem. Some of them provide very basic identity checks, and others provide more advanced identity checks, like you were saying, Felipe. So some of these guys here, they give you just like a face scan. Others actually, make you kind of hold your passport next to your face. There's a variety of ways that you can check that you're a human. So yeah, just you as a verifier or a relying party, you choose who you trust, right? You choose who you think that makes a good enough job at checking that somebody's a human and that their information is correct. Felipe, those who want to integrate with PolygonID can also just deploy their dApps on Polygon. Yes, you can just deploy your dApp on Polygon, but it will be available on the others, on the other blockchains. Exactly, that's the idea. It doesn't. Also, the app doesn't have to be deployed to Polygon, right? What we will be providing a sort of bridging feature that enables you to just use a neutral layer to deploy that connects to the various blockchains. So that will be something that we will be enabling. It's not available right now, but it will be in the future. For now, yeah, you could just deploy the issuer state to the Polygon POS chain, but you could still bridge it over to Cartesi or any other chain and just carry it over. Or in another future, we could actually deploy directly to the Cartesi chain and then verify on the other blockchains, right? This is like the interplay that we're being looking for. Yeah, thank you, Claudio. Milton, when using face scan software, that software is considered the issuer that your people need to trust. Correct. This is the fact with verifiable credentials. You have to trust a specific party, right? With doing a good enough job. Thank you for the follow there. Yeah. So, yeah, that's sort of what I wanted to share with you guys. Perhaps one thing that could be done is. You could grab our JS SDK and maybe modify some of this flow. The verification on-chain flow that I was talking about, like very quickly there, is what is happening here. Kind of like the verify state part and a few things here. This is like sort of that documentation. Let me also share this presentation with you guys so that you have it. I will share also like the browser extension, which is free, that maybe could be put together in a quick hackathon type setting as you're having right now to be able to just test around what that would look like on the Cartesi side. So let me. Okay, let me copy this link. That's the presentation, and then this is the on-chain verification flow. Oh, content blocked by the server. Oh, okay, maybe because I haven't fully done my.
So
okay, I'll just share. I'll share it with you via the Telegram. Sorry.
Yeah, I can post it here right now. We do have
at this moment. It's only. That's fine. That makes sense. See, you yourself, this is also part of the problem, right? People are so wary of the spam that even on Discord you have to do this, right?
Yeah. If you had a PolygonID integrated with Discord, then the problem would be. Our Discord master is here. Shahin, can you give Otto our issuer trust, some decentralized identity here?
Okay, we're verified. I'm verified now. Okay, cool.
Nice.
I can actually share the links. Sorry, let me just go back to.
Milton's asking here in the chat if at this very moment it's only available on Polygon, right?
It is also available on Linea, actually, on the other blockchain that you can see where we have enabled. Let me just open the application here. I can show you guys. Maybe I'll just stop the share. Be able to show you guys here from the. Oh, I can't see myself anymore. Okay. I have here on my phone Linea. You can see like the blockchains that are listed. You can see in the app Polygon Main, Polygon Mumbai, and Amoy, which is the testnet. And we are beginning with Linea Sepolia, which is the testnet for Linea. So we're working towards integrating more chains, right? The idea would be that you guys would be, part of this effort to integrate blockchains, right? So we can work together with you guys to sort of, bring in compatibility for Cartesi as well, right? That's the idea.
Yeah, awesome. I think this it's one of the biggest things to open up the design space for applications. Because if you have like stuff like credit score, like an identity, a history of transactions, then you can start to do like more complicated DeFi. You can start to think about loans and stuff like that, right? Because you you cannot do long-term loans if you don't have an identity system or a credit score or something like that, right? So it's very interesting.
That's in fact the idea, right? That you are bringing this information from Web2 sources. Let's say your credit score that you have, that you paid your loans on time with the traditional bank. You can bring this credit score information into Web3 and do interesting things with it, and back and forth, right? If you have done good things in Web3, paying your loans on time on Aave or whatever, you can bring this information over to Web2 and use it in another way, right? This is kind of like the interplay. You got it right.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming here. Oh, there's a last question from Claudio.
Any showcase or early adopter dApp on mainnet? Yes. Well, we have the Verax campaign with the folks of Linea, where people can verify that they're human, for like DAOs and things like that we're working on. But let me quickly share here the use cases that we have, just so you can see a little bit of who is using PolygonID today. Just going to try and share this again, hopefully. So yeah, there you can see a little bit of that, right? So basically we have HSBC, which is using PolygonID for customer data portability. What they are doing is you are a customer of PolygonID in Hong Kong. and you're able to take those credentials and you take them over to, let's say, Singapore, and you can port that data over, right? This is something that HSBC is using. DigiShares is an asset tokenization platform for real estate. They're building their tokenization framework using us. Guild XYZ also enables communities to do this kind of human check that you just did with Discord, right? Similar type thing. A major European bank, which is actually Deutsche Bank, the report came out last week, is completing a POC with us, and we published the report. And we have 4 other banks that are working with us to do pilots, right? So this is just some of the folks that are actually, kind of going kind of main chain or mainnet with us, and just to give you a flavor of what that's like.
Wow, that's impressive. Super nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was an awesome presentation, man.
Yeah, we're here with friends. We're happy to work with you guys. As I said, we're going multi-chain, and yes, we can kind of continue this conversation to explore how we can bring PolygonID. I can't say the new name. I want to say the new name over to the Cartesi ecosystem eventually, and get it all integrated.
So we'll find it out tomorrow, right? The new name?
Yes, tomorrow is the announcement. Yes, correct.
Awesome.
I can't wait.
Yeah, naming is one of the hardest things in Web3, so that's. I hope it looks good.
I hope it is good. I mean, it should hopefully be a neutral enough name. Let's see if it's easy to pronounce. I have some reservations, but let's see.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Otto, and see you around.
All right, I'll see you guys around. Thank you so much for the time.